this time. I got the sign. You did the other day.
Got rock over here, that door was locked. We know we didn't have.
And they didn't either.
We'll call our Jackson County Commission work session for December 5th to order. We'll have our invocation by Judge Manning and our pledge by Mr. Devil.
Let's pray. The gracious Heavenly Father, Lord, we thank you for this day that you've given us, Lord. We thank you for all the blessings that you give us, Lord, whether we deserve it or not. Lord, we thank you for this opportunity that we have to gather together and for the freedom of the free country, Lord, and for us to be able to do things for our citizens. Lord, it's asked you to be with the commissioners, Lord, give them the knowledge that they need to make decisions, Lord, concerning us. Lord, please continue to be with the members of the Rosalie community who are still suffering from a major loss and disaster. Lord, we just pray that your hand, your covering hand will be upon them. It's in Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Do a roll call.
District 1, Mr. Guffey. District 2, Mr. Benton.
Present.
District 3, Ms. Gilbert.
Present.
District 4, Mr. Sis. Present. And the chairman's also present.
We have a quorum. Do we have an or any changes to the agenda before we begin? Have a motion to approve the agenda with 3 items.
A motion.
Motion and a second. Okay, any discussion? All those in favor say aye. All opposed say no. Okay, we've got everyone signed up to speak. Our discussion items, the first one is the 2017 holidays. You have a copy of the holidays. These are the holidays that are given by the state, and traditionally that's what we do is adopt what is done by the state. Excuse me. Usually around Christmas, Thanksgiving, we may get an extra day or so, depending, but we can determine that closer to the time. So, any questions or comments on this at this time? And New Year's Day falls on a Sunday, again, traditionally that we give the Monday following if it falls on a Sunday. So if we approve this, that would be what the recommendation would be. Any other questions or comments? Okay, if we, no objection, we'll place that on the agenda next Monday night for approval. Okay, next item is regarding the Creel limit. This is again something that they're requesting a resolution from the commission supporting a reduction of the Creel limit from 10 to 5. I know that some of you are still, had some folks you wanted to talk to about this. Is there any further discussion at this time? I would like to try to get this on the agenda for next Monday to be voted on, so that we can move forward with that if we choose to do so. So, any other questions at this time?
Wouldn't this be better to be left off in the fishing well, a lot of people?
Well, that's who we send it to. We'll be sending it to the state, asking them to reduce that Creel limit from 10 to 5. And Ms. Thomas, I could get you her number if you'd like to talk with her. She could share more information about why they're pursuing this, again, have a better understanding from it. To this point, I've not heard any opposition about this. Again, I know some of you had some folks you're going to check with on that, but from all that I understand, it sounds like it'd be a positive thing to do. It's not something we can change, but she would like for us to show our support in making that change for the future.
I've talked to some bass fishermen in our county fishing tournaments, and every one of those agree with the limit being lower.
Most of it's for sport instead of for eating anyway, so. And a Creel limit, is that per person or per boat?
Per person.
Person in the boat, okay.
Any other questions?
Well, I just mentioned something like Tim was talking about, some people do fish, and I don't really know that much about it, but, you know, they said, well, most of these fish all turn back a lose, you know, the weigh-ins things, of course, I know you're gonna lose some. They said, you know, like to me, that'd be the wildlife people, that's why I just said what they told me.
It is, and that's what we'd be requesting for the state to reduce that for Jackson County. They have that authority.
Will it just be on Lake Guntersville? It won't be the smaller rivers, tributaries to Lake Guntersville?
That I don't know. If we want to clarify that, we could, I guess. I would assume it'd be in Jackson County in total, but I don't know enough about fishing to
I
recognize
believe
that.
all of those are already in place, so like whatever the real limits are on all the smaller streams, everything's already in place, and this would just be changing the going for it, as I understand it. We seem to clarify that, make sure it was just for like.
And again, we can, if we do a letter of support, we can do it just for that purpose, or request, support it for that. Any other questions or comments? Okay, if there's no objection, then we'll place a resolution for support, and I've got something I'll get to you, in regard to that. I'm gonna place that on the agenda for next Monday, to be voted on. Final thing, Jackson County Park project change orders. This is a change order on the playground portion of the project. This is a problem we've had before. We didn't think about, or I guess, wasn't a thought about doing something with this until we redid the kind of the picnic area. We're still having runoff. Of course, we had a very dry summer, so I guess that's not kind of Carl made no mention, but we had with this rain some runoff that's causing some erosion in the playground. So this is a change order brought forward to us. We can look at this. We can look at an alternative. I think I talked to Mr. Bender a little bit about the pricing, and does this seem to be somewhat in line with the type of work that's involved?
Yeah. I mean, you take into consideration the scope of work, I think it's very reasonable.
So are there any questions or comments on this?
Will that come out of the general fund and park fund?
The park, it'll come out of the loan that we're using to pay for the park project. And as far as I know, so far, this hopefully will be the only change order we have on that project. Everything else is coming along very nicely. Equipment should be here any day now. The sidewalks and things like that are in. So this is just to help again with the erosion problem, which there's a problem with before. But when they filled this area with this little fine gravel, it started to wash away that gravel with this last rain we had. So, any other questions or comments? If there's none, then no objection, we'll place that on the agenda for next Monday as well. Before we move on to reports, I want to make mention on our meetings for the rest of this month. We have a meeting next week, December 12th, and then we're scheduled to have a work session followed by a budget meeting on the 19th. I don't anticipate very much on that agenda. What I'd like to ask is that we have, because there's some confusion on the following week, what day we can meet. But what I'd like to ask is if we can do the 19th, have a work session followed by a regular meeting, followed by the budget meeting. Again, I don't expect there to be too much. If we're not comfortable with moving forward with something that night, we can always call for a meeting the following week. Would that be appropriate for everybody? Is everybody okay with that? So there'll be no meeting on the 27th, and then we'll have a work session followed by a meeting, followed by a budget meeting on the 19th. And again, there should not be much on that agenda, so that that should not take too long, so we can move into the budget meeting. Okay. All right, that concludes the items. We'll move on to our reports. Mr. Manning. Mr. Campbell. Mr. Porter.
I don't have anything.
Chief Deputy, Sheriff.
When are you gonna hire the IT guy? We had an issue today that we needed one, and I didn't.
He starts Monday. We didn't have that department head meeting this morning. We will next Monday, and hopefully he'll be here to be introduced to everybody. But he will start next Monday, and I hope to at that time talk about a plan of how we want to utilize him, the first few weeks, so he can kind of get his feet on the ground too. But he will start Monday. Judge.
No, sir.
Mr. Reynolds.
No, sir.
Ms. Gilbert. Mr. Sis. Mr. Guthrie. I do want to say very much, I know we say it all the time, and it's really hard to show it a lot of times, but all the folks that have responded to the incident up in Rosalie and throughout the county, we've had trees over roads and things like that. It takes a tremendous effort by a lot of people, from Sheriff's Department, firefighters, volunteer fire departments, our rescue squads, and all other volunteers who are involved in that process. It is amazing to see, these folks respond and get to work. It's not about, it's really just about getting the job done, it seems like. So I'm really proud of what's been done by a lot of folks. I know that this has been very hard for a lot of folks, in particular in the Rosalie area. You got a lot of property damage there and lives lost. That's always a very tough thing to handle in the community. So the way that the community's come together and working together, and the way that folks from outside of our community have come in and really put a lot of effort into helping our community. We just need to say thanks so much to all of those folks that have helped through this process. And the process isn't over. It's something that takes a long time, I know, and a long time to rebuild. But it's very important for our county to stick together in times like these and even beyond times like these. So I'm very proud of the folks that have been involved with the process. I can't say enough how much we appreciate everything that everybody has done. EMA, I feel like, has done a good job being involved with the process and keeping information flowing. So when you see anybody that's out anywhere, tell them thank you. Again, Sheriff Department, Sheriff's deputies, firefighters, when you see these folks around, tell them thank you for what they do, because we see them in these events, but they're always out there, they're always helping us, they're always doing things for us, and a lot of times we don't notice that, so I think it's important that we say that. So that concludes our items on our agenda for our meeting. With that, we will entertain a motion to adjourn. Motion, we have a second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Those opposed say no.